わあ。 Pura vida, mi gente. How you guys doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for tuning in once again. Appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. Appreciate everybody in the chat right now. Everybody that's tuning in later on. So we're gonna get uh the tree over with here. Meaning because we did Beyonce's, we're gonna do episode 10. We're gonna do Jay-Z since she was married to him and his stuff started popping up. I honestly wasn't thinking about doing his. Um, but since I had his wife's done, might as well, right? We'll see what he does. Honestly, it wasn't that easy. Honestly, his wasn't that easy like Beyonce's. Not much on the internet, and when it came to the tree, I had to force a lot of the hints out, and I got as far as I can. So at least you guys can see what possible ancestors he has and what areas. If you guys are interested to know where his people coming from in general. So I hope you guys enjoy the presentation. We're in episode 10 of Genealogical Stories. Make sure to catch the whole playlist. Just go to my playlist tab in my main channel on the main page, and you'll see all my playlists there. Pura vida. Wow. Yeah. We got some very interesting genealogies coming up, though. So stay tuned for that. More episodes. Yeah. And we go to the to ethnicity of celebs, ethnicelebs.com. As you guys can see, I'm gonna show you. All right, we're doing Jay-Z or birth name Shawn Corey Carter. Place of birth, Brooklyn, New York. All right, everybody knows that, right? Date of birth, December 4th, 1969. Jay-Z, also known as Jay-Z. The same thing right here. And by his birth name, Shawn Carter is an American rapper, songwriter, record producer, and entrepreneur. He is the son of Gloria Carter and Agnes Reeves. All right, he's a Reeves. He is married to singer Beyonce, with whom he has 3 children, including Blue Ivy Carter. Jay-Z and Beyonce are in a band together, the Carters. So, yeah, Jay-Z, right? We all know Jay-Z. So that's all on Jay-Z. That's all they have here. Not like Beyonce and many others we've done. Right? Here's on Celeb Family. Let's hear Jay-Z's family tree. So Jay-Z's parents, Gloria Carter and Agnes, or Agnes with an I, Reeves. Gloria Carter's his mom, so he got the Carter from his mom. He took his mom's, he used his mom's name. All right, so that's his mom right there with him. Some of his siblings, Andrea Carter, Eric Carter, Michelle Carter. Okay. Encyclopedia World Biography or notablebiographies.com. Under sidelights. Says Jay-Z was born Shawn Carter, December 4th, 19. Where we got 70 here. The other one says 69 in the borough of Brooklyn, New York. Youngest of 4 children. He grew up in the well-known Marcy Projects where the J and Z subway trains run. His mother, Gloria Carter, worked as a clerk in an investment company. Jay-Z's father, Agnes Reeves, left when he was 12 years old. To me, that was basically the end of our relationship, Jay-Z told Vibe. That was when the hurt and then the healing began for me. From that day right there. Jay-Z's relationship with his father served as fodder for many of his songs, including Black albums like Moments of Clarity, in which he forgave Reeves for abandoning his family. Jay-Z reconciled with his father in 2003, 6 months before his father passed away from a liver ailment. All right. So, again, as you guys can see, this is kind of where I got the info, and I just built a tree, revolved the brief history of Jay-Z's strained relationship, and that's all that comes up, how his dad left. But basically a lot of different websites confirming his dad. All right, so we go to JC Angini or Shawn Corey Carter, son of Atnas Reeves. All right, there's a picture right there, and he is a junior. He's also the son of Atnas Reeves. All right, senior. We're gonna see that where they're heading to, where they end up. All right. We're gonna read this a little bit. Jay-Z's ties to Southwest Louisiana. All right, just like Beyonce. Just like Beyonce on his paternal line. They were coming from Louisiana. All right. Let me know if the music's too loud. I'll put it down. So, it starts out with some little bit of hijack about a slave story he found or whatever. We'll read. This is from 2021, I guess. Let me see. Yeah. It says while researching. Okay, so it says hold on. Skipped a little bit. It says here's how I did it. According to several blogs and interviews JC has done over the years, it is public knowledge that his father was Atnas Reeves Jr. JC himself always spoke of his grandfather being a preacher. In fact, in one of his songs titled Legacy, the lyrics state, "You see my father, son of a preacher man, whose daughter couldn't escape the reach of the preacher's hand." Very powerful lyrics. He touched on the topic of legacy. Despite the alleged actions of his grandfather, he descends from a prominent Louisiana family of free people of color. All right? Not slaves. Free people of color, not slaves. How was I able to connect Jay-Z's father to Reeves of Southwest Louisiana? While researching the family of Joaquin Martinu, a free man of color born around 1810 in St. Landry Parish, Louisiana, I learned he had a daughter named Rosalie Martinu. Martinu, born circa 1843 in St. Landry Parish, Louisiana. Rosalie was married on 27th of May 1867 to Robert Reeves, a former slave. Dodged the hijack because he just said coming from free people of color. All right. I didn't find really anything suggesting slave. Honestly, I'll show you guys. In Opelousas, Louisiana, located them in 1870 census, living in Fourth Ward, St. Landry Parish. Robert was listed as a mulatto, born circa 1830 in Louisiana. Rosalie was listed as black, born circa 1843 in Louisiana. They had 2 children living with them, William Reeves, a mulatto born around 1868, and Virginia Reeves, a mulatto born around 1870. Both children were listed as born in St. Landry Parish. Although Rosalie was listed as black, I have documents that could verify her being of Native American and French descent. Hey guys, that's the norm around these areas right here. Not African. All right? So unfortunately, I wasn't able to find the documents. I wish this guy posted it somewhere too, I wish he had a tree because I don't think even his tree popped up. I don't think he has a tree. By the 1900 census, Rosalie was listed as a widow living in Hickory Flat, Louisiana, and Calcasieu Parish. Robert and Rosalie were part of the early migration of black families from St. Landry Parish that moved toward the Hickory Flat area to communities such as Fenton, Kinder, and Oberlin, Louisiana. All right, but at least we know, okay, just like everybody else's stories, right? There's Native American, so-called Native American, right? American indigenous people or bloodlines, right? We're French, so-called French, Acadian, Huguenots, or what are we talking about here? Sephardic Jews. As I searched for living descendants of Robert and Rosalie's son William, his son Atnas Reeves' name stood out. I had never heard that name, considering that Rosalie's family was of French descent. She was of French descent, Martinu. So real quick, Martinu, all right? The Martinu family. Says intellectual, business, and political dynasty. All right, business merchants. Knighted. Wow. Harriet Martineau. So here goes. Huguenot beginnings. Yeah, Huguenot beginnings. The Martineaus came from a Huguenot immigrant background. Huguenot. and were noted in the medical, intellectual, and business fields. In France, the family had registered the arms Assur Three Tower of Argent. Gaston Martinu, a surgeon and DP, moved to Norwich after the relocation of Edict of Nantes. The Edicts had allowed French Protestants freedom of religion, and the Huguenots left France for safety. Safety. Refugees fled. Huguenot. Martinu. Yeah, all right. This isn't JC's family. You got Huguenot. All right. No surprise. So, real quick, we're still reading. So she had French descent, all right, Huguenot. Agnes was not a typical Creole name, nor any I had ever heard of in my research. From information he gave on his World War II draft card, he was born in Moulin, Louisiana, but was living in Beaumont, Texas, temporarily while serving as a preacher. He died in California, but was buried in New York. I didn't think much of it, considering him being a preacher. It wasn't until I searched his name on Google to find anything significant, as I do most names that I researched, that I learned that Adnis Reeves Jr. was the father of JC. I thought there was no way. I then listened to interviews and read articles about JC, which confirmed that his grandfather, Adnis Reeves Sr., was indeed a preacher. Now, I thought, no way this could be the same person. Although I had this information for a few months, I did not post or share it with anyone due to it being too good to be true. It was not until Kevin Ardoin of Sideco Farms, a very close relative of the Reeves family, shared information about JC's grandfather being from Louisiana, that I knew that what I had found had to be true. After further corresponding with Kevin, we discovered we were relatives as well. Kevin told me that his brother Calvin Ardoin was the one who had done the family genealogy. Through his research, Calvin made the same connection that I made between JC's paternal grandfather and his family. Jay's grandfather, Adnis Reeves Sr., was first cousins of Calvin and Kevin's grandmother, Lillian Moroux. At this point, I was given enough confidence to accept my discoveries and now share it with you all. I will have more facts and details about JC's ancestors and how I traced them to an early African couple enslaved in Point Coupee. All right, I had dodged a hijack. All right, because I was like, okay, I want to see it. He said he posted it on his YouTube channel. Right, so when we go to his YouTube channel, all right, feel free to go check it out. No problem. I looked for the videos. All these videos are from 8 years ago, and the post he made is from 2021. So he hasn't uploaded any videos. I try to look at this one, the St. Laundry one. I don't see any topics. They're all like 40 seconds, 20 seconds. So I don't know how detailed they could be. Either way, he might still have the info and not posted it yet. Um, we ain't gonna find no Africans, right? I hope he knows that. Yeah, but shout out to him for posting this, anyways. Um, it helped a little bit, verify some of the information I was finding. All right. Again, Martinu Huguenot. All right, so let's get to the tree real quick. All right, remember Shawn Corey Carter or JC. All right, and his wife Beyonce. We're gonna do his tree today. So real quick, let's go up his dad's side. We had Adnis Reeves Jr., born in Brooklyn, passed away in Brooklyn as well. These are the siblings, some of the siblings right here. And we got Adnis D. Reeves Sr., coming out of Moellin, Allen Parish, Louisiana, born 1913. Going into Adnis D. Reeves, a 1920 census. He's 5 years old here. And you can see he's the son of Bill or William, Bill and Mary. And these are all his siblings right here. All right. So again, through his paternal side, Jay-Z going back to Louisiana, just like Beyonce. So was that something that drew him to her? Maybe. Was there a connection there with the families? Maybe. So, apart from all the conspiracies and everything, we're just doing the genealogy. It's not. Hope you guys don't have too much expectations, because it's not like Beyonce's or some other ones we have done. It's very, again, it was hard to verify all this information, make the hints start popping out, but I was able to. Here he is again at 16. This is a 1930 census. William again, so married, so definitely parents, grave record. All right. This is his family. Going back to the tree. All right. On the mom side, and grandma through the paternal side, we have Ruler Lee Bobbitt. Ruler Lee Bobbitt, Robinson County, North Carolina. All right. You guys see that? So amazing how, one from Louisiana, one from North Carolina, and they both ended up in New York, right? So Ruler Lee Bobbitt. Okay, 1930 census. She is 13 years old here from St. Paul's, Robinson. We got Henry Bobbitt and Lula Mae Bobbitt as the parents, and all the siblings right here. 1940. They put white here. I think they put white by mistake. Let me see. Well, actually, for her, as you guys can see, it says NG for Negro. It doesn't say W like everybody else. Ruler Bobbitt. You see how sometimes they mess up on the digital part, and they put white. See, that's a daughter, Georgia Lee. A sister. Then 50, 1950, Ruler Reeves, and now she's in New York with Agnes. Ruler Lee Bobbitt Robinson. Parents Henry Bobbitt and Mammy Evans. Okay, that's what I had. Yeah, Lula Mary Mammy. Full name Lula Mary Mammy Edwards Bobbitt. Right, marriage name. But she's an Edwards. All right. Going back to the tree. Going back to Reeves. On his parents again, William Reeves or Bill, Moline, Louisiana. In 1870 census, he's 2 years old. St. Laundry, mulatto. The son of Robert Reeves and Rosalie. Rosalie Reeves. We'll see her maiden name. And Virginia. Virginia. I think there's a photo of Virginia. If I'm not mistaken, let me see. Which I found very, I guess it's not this one. It's another Virginia. Okay, so let me see. There we go. This is Virginia Reeves. Let me show you the picture. See, I see that. Okay. The Reeves. Free people of color, huh? Okay. So William. All right. And Mary Reeves. Mary, I wasn't able to find. She's a Williams. Mary found that she's a Williams. Also listed as mulatto here again. Hit a dead end with her. I searched, I always hit search with these people, and I try to find different things. And I hit, Williams family history, Louisiana, Allen County, and a lot of stuff comes out. Mary Williams is a very popular name, right? That's a very common name, Mary Williams. So a lot of stuff comes up. A lot of different so-called Black Mary Williams living in Louisiana. So it's hard to say which one is her with the right parents. That's when you need kind of like the family members to be like, yeah, I think it's this one. We were from this area or whatever, or they might not even know. This is pretty far back already a little bit, but yeah, it's like it was again all his lines. Just getting to this point was hard. Each line I had to go up. It was very difficult. No hints would pop out. But that's all. This can be verified at least what I got, so you guys can see where his family is. On that side, again we hit a dead end. Go up the Reeves side again. Robert or Bob Reeves, born about 1830, Louisiana. 40 years old here. And they're putting white, but let me see again. They keep doing that. As you guys can see, there's a M, right? That's a M. Very different than what they got with the W's. Very different. M, B, M, M. So he's mulatto. And they falsely put white on the digital part. I just wanted to show that, all right? Hope you guys are noticing that. I'm not just saying it, I'm pointing it out so you guys can see. I'm pointing it out, all right? So that was what the brother was talking about here, how he was listed as mulatto and she was listed as black, right? So guys dodged the hijack with all the uh, classifications, you know. People assume mulatto means African and white, and that's not correct. Okay. So some more records here about Reeves and Rose. And again, she is Rose Martinu, which came up on the different families. They put Martinu. And then I read that story from what he was saying. She's a Martinu. So that kind of confirmed it. Honestly, didn't get no pop up for her, no parents. I got the Joaquin Martinu from this story and I put it in manually. Let me go back. Sorry. I put it in manually. Um, so let's go to her. You know, I put it in manually and see what I get. And honestly, you know, based on the information he gave me, nothing really came up. I hit search, nothing comes up except one guy, which is Insane Laundry, same place, Joaquin Martinu, but he was born in 1788, which might be him still. Might be him, so I left it. I think that's him, honestly. Joaquin Martinu. It would make him around, you know, in his let me see, that would be 12 plus 43. It's 10, 53. So he would be 55. So that's possible. That's possible. I know people who've had children in their 50s, so that's still possible. But as you guys can see, at least I found this. And so I don't know if the brother in the story has the date of his birth incorrect. You know, he has a lot of stuff incorrect there in the beginning about Africans and all that. But either way, that's what we got. As far as we got, we know again, Martinu, Huguenots. Huguenot. Martinu, you can't think that's a white French, so-called white. We know many Huguenots are actually Moors and Sephardic Jews that fled Spain and Portugal. And they fled to the southern France and they became known as Huguenots, Calvinists, right? Reformed Protestants, cryptos, a lot of them, all right? Let's not forget the previous presentation. So again, we got the Reeves side all the way to about 1830s. We hit the wall. All right. Anything about that, anybody being slaves, you know, you gotta like really prove that. You gotta really like, and if they were, you gotta understand if they were working for their families, if they were indentured to an uncle or something like that, apprenticeship. And honestly, I didn't see none of that pop up, so I'm not gonna conjecture, right? We're not gonna say we already know better, right? Based on the research we've done. But just so you guys can know. All right. So again, that was to the Reeves. And Williams, we got stuck again. Mary Williams, his wife, going back down to Adnes Sr. and his wife, Bobbitt, right? On his parents again, it was William Henry Bobbitt. That's what I was able to find. William Henry Bobbitt here, about 1879, Granville, North Carolina, living with his dad, who's also William Henry or Henry Bobbitt, and Anna Bobbitt. All right, he was 7.5 here, or 7. Oh, actually, I think they're probably saying he was 7 months old. Okay, 1920, living in Dunn, Franklin, North Carolina. All right. Here he's being called mulatto from North Carolina. Here he's in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. 1920, being called mulatto. He's with Anna, Lula right here. That's his ancestor. All right, and again, I'm able to verify there goes the Lula right here and Mammy and Henry. And here, Henry Bobbitt. There's Mammy's death certificate. This is where I got her parents, Henry Edwards, Lucy Thompson. Okay, and Henry Bobbitt is the informant. So very, very legit document. Okay. This is how I'm able to verify different things, not just go off only the hints and stuff and just add in things. Okay, we already saw that. So William Henry Bobbitt's parents are William Henry Bobbitt from Warrenton, Warren County is what I found here. They were trying to make him a slave. A lot of stuff kept popping up with different people's name though. They had different names, all right? Let me see. William Henry Bobbitt, all right, Granville, North Carolina marriage record. Annie King, she was a king. Okay, 1880 census. Married to Anna or Annie King. Social Security records. All right, and again, nothing on his parents. Different things popping up that were nothing related or matching the hints. Again, when you hit search, I'm gonna show you guys. All right, so somebody's trying to make this guy William Henry. So let me just show you that it doesn't match. Okay. Well, they're saying former slave, right? This could be him. But when I found where this picture was coming from, it's coming from somebody else's name. Let me see if it pops up. 1960, William Bobbitt, white. This might be him right here. See, this one might be him right here. It's 1860 census. That's in Granville, North Carolina, right? And they're saying this person's dad is Rufus Bobbitt and Elizabeth Bobbitt. And I bet you it doesn't have a color. Okay, so this ones are blank. So they want you to assume this means white. They have some people listed as mulatto, but that's it. Could be or could not be, right? That's why I haven't added it, because again, there's something people got to look into. Here's a William Bobbitt. So a couple William Bobbitts here in Warrentown. Now look at this one. William Henry Bobbitt, McDowell, North Carolina. Oh wait, sorry. William Henry Bobbitt or H. Bobbitt, Warrentown slave owner. They're listing this where William H. Bobbitt as a slave owner. Again, this is what I'm saying. How do we interpret these slave schedules? This could be just family members. Look at the ages. He has a male that's 23, a female 13, a female that's 8, a female that's 24, and a male that's 50. All right, that could be an older uncle or something. So now he's a slave owner. Hey, we got William Henry Bobbitt in Warrenton, Warren County. All right, so that's what I'm saying. Of course, I didn't add that because that's not, I'm not just adding things here. I just wanted to show you guys. So a lot to pursue still. Again, I can take time doing that, but that's when you actually would prefer the family to be there and maybe possibly do some boots on the ground as well, and get their story straight and ask the elders and all that, and if they care, So yeah, that's a picture. They got somebody. But again, when I searched, that picture came up in this book, and it was a whole different name, a whole different person's name. All right, I suppose a slave narrative interview, and it was a whole different person's name. Now I remember. Yeah, it was a slave narrative. Let me see if it comes up. And that's why I'm telling you guys, everyone, to be careful. Make sure you pay attention to the details. Make sure you're talking about the same people. All right, so it's not popping up. See, because that's not him. It's not even popping up anymore. But they were trying to make him a slave, right? They were trying to make him a slave. So Annie King, his wife, I did find her parents. All this was really hard to find, like at this point. All right. So Anne King, 13, and her father Joseph King, Ellen Granville, Anna Bobbitt. Okay, that's right there. Anna King, Granville, living with the Bobbitts. So that kind of like confirmed a little bit. All right. And then obviously I haven't showed you guys, but a lot of the family members, I try to like see what they got. Some of them had Joseph and Ellen Dement, so I was able to verify that way as well. So that is her parents, Joseph King and Ellen Dement. Dement. There's actually a lot of Dements in Granville, North Carolina. So again, I was searching, trying to break through these barriers. I will look for family history or Dement family history, North Carolina, and so you get different information. There's so many possibilities. So I'm not gonna guess. So so it's something that you got to kind of pursue. You got to work on your own, and you narrow it down. Right? You narrow it down. So we got Joseph King, again, North Carolina and Granville, right? 1870, 1860. They even call him so-called black in 1860. All right, Granville still. 1850, so-called black. Yeah, 1850. Let's go look at that. Let's see if it really says black. And there's a little scribble here. It's a little scribble, like there was an M or something, right? What's up with this B? Anyways, this is an 1850 census. North Carolina marriage record. So he was also married to Narcissa Mitchell. Here is our marriage record with Ellen Dement. So you guys can see these are real people. All right, this is his real ancestors based on what I could find. I don't know if he knew, but he might have known. All right, here's a marriage record of Joseph King and Ellen Dement. Okay, and again, that was all I was able to find. I hit search on Joseph King in Granville, North Carolina, around 1820. And you don't get in England, Wales, you get this graveyard. Joseph Dexter, that's Vermont. This one's in North Carolina, possibly. They're saying white. So again, the search continues. And that wall, right, is that wall. Because again, once you pass this wall, it becomes historic. You open Pandora's box. And already you already see what slaves, right? Where's all the slaves? Like, it should be more obvious. If everybody was slaves, it should be more obvious. It should be more easier to prove than not. You get what I'm saying, guys? Ellen Dement. Ellen Dement. So 18 Ellen King. Living where? This is her right here. And I searched for Dements as well. I found a lot, but it's hard to tell. Again, guys, I searched for the whole history of Dement. I was reading a lot doing this. I was trying to find stuff, and it was really hard to get past all this stuff. So going back down from them, Annie King. And that was through Henry William Bobbitt. On Lula Mary Edwards, or Mammy Edwards, Lula Mary Edwards. We got Henry Edwards from North Carolina. All right, Cumberland. And for father John Edwards and Dicey Edwards. And here he's with Lucy or Mary. All right, Lucy Thompson, wife, Mammy Bobbitt. That's the ancestors right there. That's her parents, as we saw earlier. Okay. So we got the Edwards family as well, represented here in the genealogy. Again, John Edward from Cumberland County, North Carolina, around 1820. So you guys kind of see the pattern where we're hitting a wall, the same kind of age. So again, it's conjecture to try to make all these people into slaves just because you're not finding records. That doesn't mean they're all slaves just because you're not finding records. Okay, going to the families. Let's see. So again, these are JC's cousins. You guys can see Dizzy Edwards. Some got Joshua Edwards and Bullard. I believe that's wrong. I wasn't able to verify that, and it seems like different people, not related to them. There's no sources, as you guys can see. So people just adding things manually, and that's about it. See, nobody else has parents, so I don't just copy what others do. I want to verify. I gotta have at least one record or something. So again, here goes the Edwards coming at Cumberland. So again, hints. You can search for the first Edwards that arrived in Cumberland County in North Carolina. That's how I would pursue this. And it has to be related to these Edwards. It has to be, even if it's a supposed slave master, at least you'll find where they supposedly got the name, right? So you'll be able to narrow it down. Yeah. So again, Lucy Thompson on this side. Many Lucy Thompsons. I'm gonna show you guys. Uh, Lucy Thompson, 1870, 14 years old, so-called black. So these will be the parents, Jess and Effie, if that was her. But again, we have a lot. Uh, these are Edwards. But if you search only for Thompson, you'll see that so many Lucy Thompsons pop up. North Carolina, so-called black. Here's another one. This one's 14 as well. And Partina, the mom. So it could be her. Here goes another one, Lucy Thompson, 1870 as well. Mulatto, Columbus, North Carolina. And then Eliza's the mom and William. So again, I'm not just gonna add the first one I see, and I'm not sure which one it is because there's many. So it can still keep going here. Something maybe if JC wants to pursue, hit me up. And again, disclaimer, this is again all public records and stuff, there ain't no private stuff here. It's all like census and as you guys can see, like military birth certificates and stuff, death certificates. And we're just trying to learn, not only to be nosy to see people's genealogy, family, but also to learn the complexity of each individual's family history, individual genealogy, ethnicity, because not everybody's the same. All skinfolk ain't kinfolk, and that's okay. Everybody has their own story to tell, and this is what I wanted. I kind of like doing these little episodes, and doing celebrities is kind of like very easy, and something, why not? Because, are people that are known. All right, as you guys can see, we went up his dad's line, and that was literally all we can do and get on his dad's line. All right, let me see if we can get a. All right, so that's his dad and his mom right there when they were younger, I guess, and got married. That's a picture that I saw on another website. All right, so now we're gonna go on to let me see what time. Okay, gonna go on to his mom's side. All right. So again, Gloria Carter. Oh, well, I didn't put much on her, but we got her. These are her siblings. All right, Jay-Z's aunts and uncle. Again, he got the Carter from his mom. He took his mom's last name. 1950 census. She's 1 year old. Daughter of Lassie Carter and Carter. Lassie or Lassie. Lassie's. His real name is Sam. Nickname Lassie. All right, this is a divorce paper. I guess Agnes Reeves Jr. Hey man, we heard the story from JC. His dad left and stuff. Okay, marriage license index. So we are able to confirm based on the family and the history that I was reading as well. So a lot of family had Sam Lassie Carter and Ann Carter. Going up to the granddad Sam. Says birthplace Virginia, coming out of Virginia, and ended up in Queens County, New York. All right. Here he is a baby. He's not even one yet. 1910, and James Carter, Maggie Carter, the parents. 1920, he's 9 years old. Still living in Albemarle, Virginia with Maggie and James. All right. And here is Maggie again. And she's a Gordon. That's her maiden name, his mom. So, all right. And going back. So we got Samuel Lassie Carter coming out of Albemarle, Virginia. Ended up in New York. And his wife, Annie Cabell. Or Cable. Cabell. All right. Going into her. Okay, so she's actually born in Virginia too. I don't know why I have New York. That must have been somebody had in there and somewhere, and it came over in a hint. So Virginia, birthplace, you guys can see, living in Amherst here at 7 years old, Virginia. The daughter of Scott Cable or Cabell and Mary Cabell. 1930, 10 years later, she's around 18, 17, again living with Scott Cabell or Cable. They just messed up the last name here. They're in Amherst still, Virginia. You guys can see the areas where his people are, which we're at. She ended up in New York. So here's Annie Cabell, sorry, and Scott Cable married Essex or Essex. Essex is actually the last name. So again, she was born in Virginia, most likely Amherst, but we just put Virginia. All right, so we'll go up her soon. So going up to Carter again, we got James Carter from Massey's Mill, Nelson County, Virginia. And I noticed, so they're between Nelson and Livingston, all these towns. So shout out to Andrea. You might be related to JC, or your people might have mingled with his people in Livingston. So 1900 census, James Carter, 20 years old, living under Edward or Ed and Ella. All right. 1910, James Carter, 29, being listed as mulatto. Albert Marley again, and this is when he's with Maggie, married. And he ended up passing away in Pennsylvania. All right, so I was able to find that as well. Here is Maggie, his wife's death certificate, being listed as colored. Jazz or James Carter, and it has her. Remember, she was a Gordon, so it has her dad, Reuben Gordon. Greenwood. Oh well, they don't have where he was from, but oh yeah, okay, Virginia, and then Isabella Wells or Isabel Wells. And you see the informant is Lily Monroe, whoever that is. So again, the family will probably know all this stuff. Okay, so James Carter, Massey Mills in Nelson County, Virginia. All right, he had a we got a couple more hints for him. These are all new probably because I was here earlier. So see, this guy's not him. This is Wisconsin. So in this one, I would hit no. Make sure to go through the hints and hit yes and no. So these are probably all wrong. Okay, so this is Jazz Carter, Nelson County. Okay, Ed and Ellen. So he was married to a Rosa as well. You see? So that matches so-called black. So we're able to verify he had a different wife, which I already had, I guess. Yeah, I already had Rosa as well. So it's kind of good. These hints popped out so you guys can see how we go through the hints. Here goes Rosa and him again. Marriage record. And let's see, that's colored. Okay. And okay, here's his actual death certificate, which I didn't have. This just popped out while we were live. So again, as you build your tree, you're gonna keep getting more hints. That's why I go through all the hints. I went through a lot of hints and I hit yes, no, and so that helps the algorithm get started, and eventually it'll start popping more hints later on as you check. So we got James E. Carter or Edward Carter, named after his dad, colored, married to Rosa. That's the second wife, I guess. He was married to Nelson County. Dad's name, Edward Carter, Virginia, and Ellen Hill. Okay, so this is good for me because I'm able to confirm what I already had. It wasn't, guys, it seems very easy right now, but none of this stuff right here was easy to find on his family. Nothing was popping up. It's like it didn't want me to go up, and I guess now the algorithm's working a little bit better. But yeah, it wasn't as easy at first, even though it's not as extensive as Beyonce's, you know. But more family members have also the same information, as you guys can see. So this is how you attach the other families, right? This is so you can go to the person, Stephanie Renee, for example, and she might have a picture or something, and you might be like, "Oh, I know her. That's my cousin," you know. So this is most likely JC's family. Kind of looks a little bit like might be related to him. She has her own tree, and she has the same people as JC on this side, right? At least. So that's a distant cousin of his. Here's another family, uh, the Koger family, right? The and then the Sam's family. And you hit review selected tree hints, and you can attach whatever information you think is best and move it over to your information. You gotta hit yeah, this matches, and that'll connect many other trees. And if they have any hints or records that you didn't have, it'll auto populate on yours as a hint, later on. So it's good to attach some family trees. You gotta be very careful though. A lot of these families don't have sources, and a lot of them are like just adding things and not sometimes a lot of times they're not correct. So you gotta make sure they have, the correct sources of why they're basing it up. You can contact them and ask them, hey, how do you know this is the mom? How do you know this is the dad? And they'll most likely reply to you, be like, this because I have the family Bible or something. So there's many ways to verify. You got to just play with it, and it takes time. It's not a quick thing. Be patient with it. As you guys can see, I'm basically matching what I had just picked up from the other families into the tree I got, and it's all matching, as you guys can see. So I'm hitting, yeah, that matches. If it's not a match, you click on not a match and you make it a new person. All right. So kind of showing you how to navigate through the Ancestry.com genealogical website, uh, platform. If you guys haven't tried it out, go ahead and check it out. Actually, the more trees on this platform, the better for everybody else, to get correct information and be able to build their trees if they're related to you. All right. So, I recommend it. They already got your info. It's not like, oh, that's so, they already got these documents. This is where we're using their documents to build this tree. So they already know who you are. When I'm talking about they, like what they? I'm talking about the Latter Day Saints. Who owns this? The Mormons and the Latter Day Saints, they own both Ancestry.com and FamilySearch.org and probably other ones. They got one of the biggest databases in Utah, right, for genealogy, right? And the Mormons do. Yeah, I'm snitching. So again, we go up to Edward, his dad. So from James E. Carter, all right, we go to Edward Carter. We was able to verify. We're still around 1850, Massey's Mill, Nelson, Virginia. He passed away in Tyrol, in Nelson County, Virginia. All right. And again, where's all the slaves, right? Where's all the slaves? Here's Ed Carter at 49, married to Ella Carter. And here's James again. the son. Let me see if we can get something else. Edward Carter and Ellen. So they're listed in the death certificates of their children here. That's another way to verify through the siblings. All right. That's why I add also siblings. Here's Edward's grave. You can see the record. You can probably go to the grave. Let's see. So this is from findagrave.com. And not much here other than Ellen Hill. They're able to find her maiden name. And another child here, Martha Jane Carter, which I believe we have. All right. So Edward Carter, still in Massey's Mills. That's the other way I was able to verify because of the locations. You know, I had to hit search for all of this. I wasn't getting hints, guys. I had to hit search on my own and kind of, oh, this has to be him. You know, Massey's. It's matching what they're saying in the families. You know, so I was able to get his parents. Let me see. I know I had that somewhere. Where do I have it? All right, there we go. So Edward Carter, colored, Nelson County, married to Ellen Hill, and the parents Fayette, the male, and Martha. Right, Fayette. It's actually Fayette, and also Tate, nicknamed Tate Carter, and Martha Ross. Martha Ross. All right, and I know I had a death certificate with that too. I know I did somewhere. Okay. So Lafayette. Let me see. Yeah. And as far as I got on Lafayette Tate in Nelson County, Virginia. All right, and I do have some, as you guys can see, Fayette Carter in 1870. All right, Lovingston, Nelson. All right, so shout out to Andrea. Her people all over Lovingston. Her last name is Lovingston, so it's like her people founded that town. We're talking about, couple colored people. Yeah, so not so-called white people. Lovingston. Yeah, same place, same town. Fayette, Martha, 1870, 1880. Lafayette, Carter, Massey's, Nelson. Yep, we're talking about the same people here with Maddie or Martha. Yeah, yeah, Ross, right? Ross. So let me see where I get that. Tate and okay, so here it is. Not sure why it's not attached to. So this is why I was able to verify. Here's Edward Carter's death certificate, right? Again, passed away in Tyrell, Virginia. Massis Mill. That's where he lived. Colored. Ellen Hill. Yep, that's him. And it says Tate or Fate, Fate or Tate. That's why they were calling Tate because they couldn't probably an F. Fayette or Fate. Carter, Nelson, and Martha. And this is where they get into Ross. This is the only place where they get into Ross from. Informant Walter Carter. So it must be a son. They must know that her maiden name is Ross, right? So I left it. And again, I was able to verify all this. You know, all these ancestors. I think I think if I have anybody that's wrong, it'll probably be one or two. But I think I have them all correct so far. Um, this is wrong. Hezekiah Butler is not her. That's from another person. It keeps trying to make her into so-called white. All right, Martha Ross. Okay, we just got Martha Carter. We only got Ross on the death certificate of her son. Here's Martha Carter and Faith Carter for another daughter. U.S. Civil War. Lafayette Clay. They put Carter, but it's probably Lafayette Carter as well. And here she is again as Ross. So Nelson County, around 1830s, we're hitting the wall again. Let me see what the hints. I think these are. So this is not her because this lady's married to a John Carter. All right. Unless she married a brother, it's in the same town, you know that. But I think that's another Martha. And so, yep, that's basically on the Carter going up. Edward's wife, Evelyn Hill, on the Hills. Again, all this was pretty hard to find. I was able to find her parents, Joshua Hill. Here she is at 14. Again, Massey's Mill, Nelson, Virginia. Post office, Livingston. And her father, Joshua Hill, and Keziah Hill or Keziah Turner. Yeah, Turner, Ross and Turner. Turner. Joshua Hill, Keziah Turner right here. Wyatt, man, all the siblings. 1880. Evelyn Hill, 19. Again, living with Joshua. And Kesari or Keziah, Kesari. So they spelled her name different a lot of times. 1900. Ella is already living with her husband. Okay. Here she's with her son, death certificate. Let me see. Okay. The grave. Ellen Carter Hill passed away in 1941 in Tyrone, Nelson County. Listed in her husband. And right here is listing her again, marrying Edward Carter. Same one we saw earlier, where they were listing his parents. And here is Joshua and Kissy. Again, they changed her name up a lot. All right, so again, I verified her parents. We go up to Joshua Hill. Again, Massey Mill still in Nelson County, right? 1870. Joshua. Oh, we already saw this. So, and he had a lot of land. Well, not a lot, but I was looking over here. What we can read, right? Let me see. Joshua Hill, 20 acres here, 50 acres of something. It's hard to read. And then 10. And I think this is money right here. There's a lot of money back then. $300 worth of stuff is a lot. Yeah. So these are not slaves. It's basically what I'm showing you. These ain't slaves. He was born in 1835, supposedly during slavery times, right? All right. Where's the slaves though? That's what I'm saying. We gotta like really verify all the information. Here he is with Keziah and their children. So they're in the death certificate of a lot of their kids. Here she is with her maiden name, Keziah Turner. Turner. All right. Hill. King of the Hill, huh? King of the Hill. You thought that was only a so-called white name, no? Keziah Hill right there. Turner. Keziah Turner again with Esteline Washington, their daughter. Keziah Turner. They had a Keziah Jr. Keziah Hill with Jane. Marriage, select marriages. Joshua Hill, who's widowed. And then he married Mary Allen. So he got married to another person. Also, I guess Keziah had passed away. And here they have his dad and mom listed, which was not full name, so it didn't really help me, but at least I know it was with a W. And usually WM means William. So I knew that was most likely William, his dad. So William Hill. And R, I didn't know the first name, but I had a clue, right? I had a clue to go off. And eventually I did find, based with other families, and when I hit search, I found William Hill and Rachel Hill. All right, let me see if the this had the wrong parents. William R. This is correct. Where did I see the parents? William Hill. Okay, so they had William Hill and Rachel. That helped me verify the names. Okay, going up the hill again. We got William Hill out of Amherst, Virginia, and that's I kind of hit a dead end because when you hit search, you're gonna find a lot of William Hills. That's again common names. William Hill, Virginia, William Hill, William Hill, William Hill, William Hill, William Hall, and Amherst. So this one, look, William D. Hill, Amherst. This might be him right here, 1820. Pre-white, so that's why it's hard to tell because you got to dodge the hijack on the classification. And then look at this one, William Hill with a Rachel. that matches their names, and he's in the 1812 or the War of 1812 out of South Carolina. So fighting over there. So that could be him too. 1790, he would have been, yeah, he would have been 22, right? Yeah, he would have been 22, old enough to be in the war. That could be him. So I could pursue this a little more if I just put a little more time into it and just verify. But again, it would be better if I could ask JC, hey, what do you think? You're like, yeah, yeah, we know. I trust me. I know, man. I know my connections. Yeah, you gotta breathe easy, Kurimeo, Keziah Turner. So we get that's where we got with the Hills. I don't know Rachel's maiden name or anything about Rachel, so it's hard to kind of look for anything on her. Keziah Turner. Well, I just know she's a Turner, and I just know I didn't see any slave stuff pop up for any of these people. Okay, and again when you hit search, it's a lot of stuff comes up and or doesn't come up. Keziah Turner, Virginia. We got a will. That might be her, You got to kind of get into the will and read it. It's hard to interpret these wills. They're in cursive. You got to really go into them, see if you see a daughter or something. You'll be like able to match or a husband. We got a Keziah Turner here in New Jersey, a Quaker meeting. Another Keziah Hill here from Kentucky, Michigan. Another one getting land off his records in Michigan. So this one's in Virginia, so London. So as you can see, it's not easy to just continue sometimes. But I think I've made it pretty far, at least to the threshold on most of his lines. Let's see. Oh, that's not our tree. Go back to our tree. Okay. So going back down again, I'm not showing you a lot of siblings, a lot of these families, a lot of siblings, they got their own trees and hints. Those might help me too. I haven't even gone in through those. It's just a lot to go through, guys. So going back down, the Hills, we did the Carters, we did the Hills, right? Going up to Gordon. Remember we had Reuben and Isabel Wells and couldn't get past them as well. So we got Gordons in the family as well in Virginia. 1870 census. Here's Reuben. All right, and Bell or Isabel and Albert Marley, Virginia, so-called black. All right, 1880, 34, Albert Marley. Okay, here's Margaret, the ancestor of JC. She's 7 years old here. And here they're listed in death certificates of their children. Here's a birth certificate, one of their daughters. Reuben Jr.'s death certificate. And here's Maggie. This is JC's ancestor as well, their daughter. This is her death certificate and the parents being listed there so you guys can verify I had the correct parents. All right. And marriage records. And that's where we got Reuben Gordon. So again, Gordon, I would pursue this. I would see which one's the first. How did the Gordons get to Virginia? When? Especially in the areas that we're talking about, Albert Marley and all these other areas. And we'll try to see when did they arrive there. You might find your people. You just got to go outside of Ancestry. You got to do real research apart from this. They don't want you to know. They don't want you to know. They want you to think these are all slaves. As you guys can see, what slaves? It's not popping up. Okay, so Isabella Wells, another name. And all they put for her father is Wells. That doesn't really help. All right, when you hit, search does not, get much. So, that's not a bad thing. It might be talking about possible Indians. People just they don't want you to know about because they want you to assume these old people's slaves, but they're probably gonna open Pandora's box going in further into these people. So going down again, that was the Gordon coming up through Sam Carter. All right, so that was all Sam Carter's going up, his grandparents on his mom's side, his maternal, the Cabell family. We got Scott Cabell or Cabell. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. 1900s. Tempers, Amherst, Virginia, with Mary. All right. Her maiden name is Essex. Here is 1910. And here he is father, right? So he's living with Walter and household and many other people. They're all related. They're all living in this big house or probably a couple houses in the same property. All right, so this is when he's older. Here is SS. They spell her name wrong a lot, her last name. They put Essex here. And here's Annie Cabell, the daughter. So we're able to verify that. Here with a son. Here's a marriage record, Scott Cabell colored. All right, we ain't talking about so-called white people. Nelson County, very close. Reuben Lovingly. That's as I told you, the Lovins founded that town, Lovinston. All right, that's probably Andrea's family right there. So Wyatt and Sally is the parents of Scott, Wyatt Cabell and Sally. All right. And here's Mary Essex and Wyatt and Sally. So he married two different people. So her last name again, Essex. Right? Still in Nelson County. So Wyatt Cabell or Cabell. I didn't have no info on him. So I put about 1833. I gave him 26 years from Scott, his son. So I found a marriage record. I actually found a marriage record. Wyatt and Scott listing his parents. And that's about it. Family members listing him. I hit search. And this is what we get. Let me see. I don't remember exactly what I got, but let's see. So yeah, no Wyatts. But, again, when you start researching all this stuff, I don't have all the thumbnails I have. So I hit Cabell, family history, Virginia, just for example, right? I don't know if that's what I did, but so check it out, the Cabell family papers. So this is kind of what you got to do, dodge the hijack on the whitewash images and stuff. Don't assume it's all white people just because they're putting these things. So this is how you would pursue it. I'll read this, see what it says. And Virginia, the Cabell family, and then just try to pursue it. You gotta pursue it. So I'm just showing you that there's other ways. All right. The Cabells and their king. There's a whole book. The Cabells and their king, a memorial volume of history, biography, and genealogy. Right. So you never know. They might be in these books. All right. Again, just an example. You guys to try out. And his wife Sally. Again, not much I could do. I don't even know her maiden name. So, but interesting last name, Cabell. We haven't even done this today. Oh, as you can see, Martinu, French, right? Huguenot. So Cabell. Cabell history, English. The origins of the name Cabell are from the ancient Anglo-Saxon sons of Isaac culture of Britain. All right, ancient. It is derived from Cabell, a given name of Germanic origin. The surname Cabell denoted the son of Cabell. Interesting, huh? So examples, right? So Mary Essex was his wife again. And I did find her parents too, which was Thomas, Mary Essex right here, listed as mulatto. Again, in Massey's Mill, Nelson County, same people, same family, same areas. All right. Tom Essex and Manda, or Mandy, or Amanda, right? Manda's a shortened version of Amanda many times. So Essex, she's an Essex, right? And that's most likely English too. Let's see, Essex. Oh, actually, Irish and English, it says, was first found in Middlesex, where they held a family seat as lords of the manor. The Saxon influence of English history diminished after the Battle of Hastings. In 1066, the language of the courts was French. Okay, they were speaking French. a lot in all these European countries, a lot. So, that's their European version of the origin of the name, but you can kind of like, pursue that a little bit more. So Essex, all right. Let me see what else we got here. I just want to like show so people can see that I put a lot of, I try to get as much records as possible. Make sure I'm doing the correct one. So Mary Essex, called Gable. Okay. Going to her dad, Thomas. And he was from Arrington, Nelson County, Virginia, still in Nelson County, 1870 census, listed as mulatto. Again, Massey's Mill, Nelson. All right. Livingston, and his wife, Amanda Essex. And with Amanda's last name, a lot of people were putting Payne. I saw that in the death certificate, I think. Let me see. So here she's Rose. All right. Tom Essex and Amanda Rose. So she could have been married twice. And here she's Payne, right? In Shedrick's death certificate. And Essex here. So I left both Payne and Rose for Amanda. Amanda. And yeah, haven't really been able to find the parents. But as you guys can see here, so-called black, Massey's Mill, Nelson, in 1870. Amanda Rose, and they're saying Hannah Keziah is the mom. Where are they getting this? I don't know. Let me see. The family members had. Okay, yeah, I think that was, yeah. Okay, now I know, remember. So this is not her. Yeah, that was not, that was different people. That was different people, and she didn't pop up under them. So, but I can definitely look into it further, but I didn't feel comfortable putting, because I don't believe that was her people. All right, and so that was Mandy and Thomas Essex. Again, that was through Mary Essex. Scott Gable, and that was through Annie Gable, right? Who are JC's grandparents, so Carter, family Cable, all right, and that was JC's maternal line. So as you guys can see, it wasn't as complex as Beyonce's, and getting just his grandparents and his great grandparents was a mission, and getting as far as I did was a mission, guys. Trust me. Even if it was short, the tree, it was not easy, but I'm very confident in this tree right here. So if JC wants to pursue it, or hopefully he does, and hopefully these celebrities think, hopefully I don't know, I hear a lot about him, but I hope he appreciates this at least, and doesn't get upset. We're not definitely doing this for being nosy. We just want to learn, and you are a celebrity, and this is public, and people already got so many websites talking about your family and stuff. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the tree. That's the tree. I told you it's not as much as a Beyonce's. We did a 5-hour live on Beyonce's tree. That was so extensive, right? JC's was a little harder. I know a lot of people probably expecting to see so much more, and his connections to elite maybe still, but as you can see, it also could come from humble stuff and Indians and all this other stuff too. So, well, we definitely saw he's coming from Huguenot. We saw the Huguenot connection, and we saw Ross pop up. We saw Turner, and we saw a couple things pop up here and there. Not much slaves, supposedly, right? Not much slaves. Not much slaves. All right. So on Rosalie, remember he said on Rosalie Martinu, the Huguenot descendant, they were saying that she possibly has Native American. So I don't doubt that. Again, with these French, Acadian, and Huguenots, again, they mixed a lot with American Indians. So that was most likely true. All right. That's most likely true. So I also I got James Brown's genealogy done. If you guys are interested, I can do that next. I already got that one done as well, most of it. I didn't find much, but at least you know where his people are actually coming from. And definitely it's not Apache region, guys. He's not no Apache. All right. What other type of Indian he is? That's for us to figure out. But they were most likely from South Carolina Indians. Not That's where his people was always in South Carolina. So I'll go ahead and show that in probably maybe the next episode, or I don't know if I'll find somebody more interesting. I might do, I want to expand. I want to do like other celebrities. I want to do historical people too, not just celebrities. Historical people. Like I like to mix this. So again, I did JC's genealogy because we were doing Beyonce. Beyonce was very good, learning experience and fun to do. JC's was pretty interesting. I mean, it was pretty regular to me. I mean, not exciting. I don't know what you guys thought, but hopefully you guys found it interesting. And it helped some people out. I hope it helped a lot of people out actually, even if it was quick and not much, but at least it helps, right? At least for you to try. Because I'm telling you guys, this was a hard tree to do. It nothing was popping up at all. Nothing, no hints. I had to like really force it. I had to look up Pancho Villa. All right. What suggestions do you guys have for genealogy before we leave? If you want to drop a suggestion, and I'll look into it. But make sure it's something interesting, not in like just simple, so we can all learn. It's gotta be worth my time. This is very time consuming. This is very time consuming. So hopefully it's more it's interesting the people we work on. I'm not saying JC is not interesting, but he is a celebrity and everything. And I guess he's an icon, right? A rap icon, as he says. But it wasn't so exciting. But it hopefully helped. Geronimo. So you talking about like you can't do like Indians don't have real records like that, and that's not where probably not gonna work out with Geronimo. Alicia Keys, now that's interesting. Definitely think about doing her, Alicia Keys. Prince, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's Prince is definitely on my list. All right. Aaliyah definitely came on my list recently because of the Beyonce thing, and my wife is a big fan of Aaliyah. First, way before Beyonce, right? Like, and the tragic thing that happened, she probably would have, But anyways, I don't want to get into that. Oh, John F. Kennedy. Well, we kind of know his genealogy, but we can definitely do it. That'll be interesting. I'm not gonna go too deep into the urine part. It's gonna go. One thing, guys, about a lot of the so-called white Americans, right? A lot of them go right into Ellis Island. A lot of them go right into Ellis Island or right into Europe in the 1800s. So it's like it's not much history here. You'll see. I'm going to show you guys that, when I start doing all these other celebrities like Keanu Reeves. I already did Michael Jackson. Come on, guys. You got to be updated with the episodes. I already did Michael Jackson. Come on now. Ice Cube's an interesting one. Yeah, Ice Cube's an interesting one. Oh, Joe Louis, Brown Bomber. Okay. Yeah, I already did Michael Jackson. Make sure to check that one out. That one was really good. The Michael Jackson one was really good. Check that one out. Diana Ross. There you go. Diana Ross. Yeah, Diana Ross is a pretty good one as well. Marina Amorovich. Okay. Oh, Lauren Hill. There you go. Lauren Hill. But you guys are thinking only like celebrity singer celebrities. Okay. But okay, I'll do them. Yeah. Um, you know, Frederick Douglass, W. Du Bois, you know, like Biggie. Now Biggie's a pretty interesting one too, but I think his mom was from Jamaica, right? So that might be a little hard once you get into Jamaica, but we'll try it out. We'll try it out. David Ortiz, that one's okay. His Hispaniola History Channel. Make sure guys to check out his channel. He got pretty good information there. Mainly the region over there in Hispaniola and the Caribbean, very good information. But Hispaniola is very hard, like the whole island for some Dominicans and Haitians. The genealogy there's just been hidden. It's just been totally like you have to go local. They don't. These websites didn't go there to scan the records at all, so they don't have them. So it's almost like impossible to do. Unfortunately, people that are from Dominican Republic and Haiti. Jamaican, I can actually get pretty far. They have these little slips I can actually find there if you know the names, but you got to know the names of your ancestors. If you don't, it's like It's like, you're just driving blind. Old Dirty Bastard now. Old Dirty we kind of done. I've done a lot of videos on Old Dirty. We kind of done his, but I haven't done his actual, like, build his tree. So that would be an interesting one. I thought I did that, but yeah, I talked about a lot of his ancestors in videos because we've done the indigenous ones, right? Dr. Umar. Hey, now see, those are good ones. The Pan-African ones are good. Just like if you guys watch part two, episode two, I did Jabari. If you guys haven't watched the previous ones, make sure to catch Jabari's one. Because Jabari one is really impactful. It proves that they just be making things up. I proved that his one African ancestor that he's been running off, that he's been using to make himself African, was actually Scottish, a black Scottish man. And he was known to be a black Scottish man. So his whole story is that, oh no, but he was in Africa before he arrived in Scotland. You don't know that. Stop making things up and conjecturing. Jabari. Jabari, that video's old now, and if you're still running about you're African, you should be embarrassed by now, man. But hey, I guess you got no shame. You got no shame. Michael Jordan, that's a good one. Noble Drew Elise ain't that easy. I'll try it out, but yeah, it's yeah. If you watch my Noble Drew Ali one I did recently, where his name is actually Thomas Drew. His name is Thomas Drew, born in North Carolina. I got his possible parents, but his story is all like a lot of it is like legend. It's like it's like that he was born in a virgin, in an eclipse in Virginia, and that part was false. So you know. Michael Jordan, Paul Rubens, L.A. Wee Herman, Pee Wee Herman, okay, Pee Wee Herman, huh? Elijah Muhammad, yeah. Cat Williams, yeah, that one's interesting. Johnny Cochran, Guinea Jim, yeah, there you go. That was Jabari's ancestor, Guinea Jim, who was actually Scottish. Yeah. So when you're biased about your own people only, and that's all you talk about, that's you know, you gotta expand, man. And this ain't nobody's competing and stuff, and nobody's trying to be like, oh, we the best, we the best, we the most ancient, we the best, we. Again, we just talking French. We. All right, guys, let me get out of here, man. We're gonna, if not, I start talking. I already did Nat Turner's, guys. Catch up. Hey, Playboy crew, you gotta catch up. Before you give me suggestions, at least know what I've done already. I already did an episode on Nat Turner. I proved he was real. We debunked Dane already. Harriet Tubman was real. We debunked Dane already. All right. Her These people's living descendants are not fake. They're living. Okay. With all respect. I don't know why he did those videos, but they were real people. The narratives were wrong. Okay. The narratives were wrong. We already know almost all narratives are wrong. Did we find any slaves today? Oh, right. We find any slaves today? Yeah. We're gonna get out of here now. All right. Let me find a nice beat to get out of here. Huh? Appreciate everybody that in the pay in my Patreon. Appreciate all the moderators. Thanks for tuning in again and moderating. We're gonna go out with Clockwork. Clockwork. All right. We're just talking about Ocelot 12's beat. Hey, shout out to Ocelot 12 for the beat. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for the beat. And pura vida, mi gente. Much love and respect. Stay Stay strong, stay vigilant, be righteous. Hawa, hawa, pull up. Yeah. Wow. Hey, thanks for all the suggestions, guys. Definitely look into that. Have a great night. Much love.